It's a good time to be an apprentice.
First we cut TAFE fees for them. Now we're giving them a one-off grant of $2,000 and $500 to buy tools critical to their job.
Could you go grab us the left-hander hammer out of me tray?
Sure.
Mark McGowan's spending the money after he realised half of all apprentices drop out when they realise what's actually involved with the job. Work.
I don't know, I got that in me.
Well, $2,000 should keep them on for a little bit longer.
$2,000 gets you, 800 choc milks or 500 sausage rolls? So that's a year's smokos paid for in one go.
Milk was a bad choice.
Problem is, it takes 3 years for anyone lured by that cash to get qualified, and we need them now. BGC isn't taking on any new work at the moment because the company can't finish homes currently under construction. As is often the case, the government is acting too late. We needed this taxpayer-funded bribery 2 years ago. If a brickie or a roofie enrolls now, they'll be really useful on site in 2025 or 26, just in time for the inevitable housing downturn. The number of building approvals is dropping, so the pipeline of work is already drying up. And there's a new headache for the industry emerging right now. We don't have enough surveyors, without which you can neither start nor finish any building job, big or small.
It really is a skills crisis.
Yeah, media's been pretty quick to use that phrase.
Crisis alert!
Most of the time it's more inconvenient than a catastrophe, to be honest. Not having enough staff serving you in a cafe is stretching the definition of crisis.
This is a crisis.
But when workers are in such shortage that we don't have air traffic controllers at airports, there's a real problem.
It's a 12-storey crisis with a magnificent entrance hall, carpeting throughout, 24-hour porterage, and an enormous sign on the roof saying, "This is a large crisis."
The only things in the tower at Perth Airport one night a couple of weeks ago were crickets and tumbleweeds. But the company that employs air traffic controllers insists that safety was not compromised. Air Services Australia says its people keep this country's aviation sector safe every day of the year. Every day except March 21, that is, when there was nobody at the desk for a few hours after all the air traffic controllers went home.
I work hard for the money, so hard for the money.
That saw a 36 by 240 nautical mile area around Perth deemed temporary restricted airspace.
Here it comes!
And forced pilots to rely on something called a traffic collision avoidance system.
Oh my God.
Luckily, there were no crashes.
Well, except for the Liberal Party. Now there's a skills crisis. It's been 100 years since a government party won a seat at a by-election.
I'm Mary Doyle. Yeah.
The Victorian seat of Aston was up for grabs on the weekend, courtesy of Liberal incumbent Alan Tudge's decision to quit politics. Alan, most people would remember, went from a nobody to a household name 3 years ago when staffer Rochelle Miller revealed their long-running extramarital affair. Todgergate failed to dampen the Education Minister's electoral fortunes, and he limped over the line at the 2022 poll before finding it was all too hard, much like his stupid dick was in 2017. Labor's Mary Doyle just won the seat with a 6% swing, which is incredibly embarrassing for Peter Dutton.
It's not the night we wanted. Let's be very clear about that.
Who in the lead up to the poll described the contest as a verdict on the leaders, no doubt about that.
Looks like the verdict's in.
And the people of Aston said Dutton can go and eat up
Dagwood dog.
Despite the defeat, Peter reckons he's still the best person to lead the Liberals, and he probably is, which speaks volumes about where that party is at the moment.
Albo's happy.
Well, why wouldn't you be? He won a by-election on Saturday.
I'm so pleased to welcome Mary Doyle as the newest member of the Federal Labor Caucus.
Spent Sunday morning in Perth at the Resources Technology Showcase event, where he examined what's going to be in the mining sector's future toolbox, and then spent Sunday afternoon in a box with a bunch of tools. I'm Ben Harvey.
And you wonder why everybody hates you.
That was a joke. For more update, click the subscribe button below.